Hey everybody, and welcome back to Threat X3 Productions.
Oh yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about Blobscow, Black Ops Cold War. I am Nick. Here with me today is
Kevin. This guy. Kevin.
What is up? Now, specifically, what we're going to start with today, what today's video is about, is zombies. If you'd like to hear our impressions, our first impressions and discussion about multiplayer, this will be uploaded later today. Or it's already uploaded and you just need to look for it in our playlist, our Call of Duty playlist.
You already saw it and you're going to be listening to that now.
That's true. That's true too. So, all right. One word. Zombies. What do you think?
Zombies. The easiest word ever. Zombies.
Undead.
Ooh.
No, if I had to use one word, if I can go pretentious, I would say supreme.
I don't disagree with excuse me.
You don't disagree with my one word assessment.
I don't disagree.
So review over. Word. Thank you everybody for all right. So
the next TED Talk, scroll on to the next video. No, so my one word would be relieving.
Relieving. Interesting.
Yeah.
Why relieving?
Because you know my struggle with zombies over the years.
Yep.
And getting into it and not just playing zombies, but even playing the secondary game mode that they had was refreshing and relieving. And you know what? Maybe refreshing would have been a better word to use than relieving.
I get you. You're relieving yourself.
But it was relieving to know that this works.
This is viable. This is something that you can actually
play. And it's enjoyable. Like yes. I don't think at one moment was I ever like, well, that's not fucking cool.
Yeah, right.
I don't think that ever came out of my mouth.
Right.
So
two
words, relieving and refreshing.
Yeah. Honestly, this is I'll agree this is definitely relieving. Because one thing I was worried about, there's tons of detractors out there who didn't like Black Ops 4 zombies and the way that they did stuff. I personally liked it. So, knowing that they were going to basically go back to old school zombies, how we have like the Juggernaut and things like that, I was a little worried that... You know, granted, I'm kind of a casual. I'm not a super hardcore zombie fan, but I'm still also like a really big zombie fan. You know, so it's just that I was definitely worried that they were going to make it too hardcore or too in my face or whatever.
Yeah.
But relieving is a really good word because I'm so relieved because obviously I paid like $80 for the Ultimate Edition and I do not think that was not worth the price. Even if I'm just talking about zombies, because of how big of a zombie fan I am, that $80 for me is totally worth it. You know,
because we're getting it on two platforms. You know, like
true.
When we bought our PlayStation 4s, we weren't able to bring any game with us.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it was $10 extra, $20 extra, whatever.
Yeah, true.
Again, it's worth it in the run that when we get our PlayStation 5s, we don't if we're financially strapped, which I don't know if I will be, I don't know if you will be, but maybe one of our fans are. If you're financially strapped and you happen to get the game now, just spend the extra $20, eat ramen a little bit more, because when you get your PS5, you're going to be launching with Blobscow. And that's it. And I actually have to say that it's worth it in itself to do that.
Definitely.
This is somebody who, so after Black Ops 2, I dropped off the Call of Duty radar. I wasn't really into Modern Warfare until the recent one.
Mm-hmm.
The recent Modern Warfare kind of brought me back to reality, and I really like that. But as far as like Black Ops went, I was one of those people. I didn't like the direction of zombies. I didn't like the direction of jetpacks and all that other stuff. So to have something coming back to boots on the ground, to have something coming back to just, I don't even want to say back to, because it's not really back to what it was. It's It's its own thing, and it runs really well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I really, I'm. It is relieving. It is
Yeah.
relieving to know that I can let my hair down and know that I don't have to keep up with jetpacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So let's start off with visuals because that's the
okay.
easiest thing to
Sure. Yep.
commentate on.
Yep.
I mean, just from Black Ops 4 to this one, it feels like almost a night and day thing. There was another thing
Yeah.
that relieving is a really good word, honestly, because there was one thing I was worried about, and that was that the fidelity, that the overall visuals were going to be a little muddy, considering that this is a cross generation game. Luckily,
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's a problem. You know, even just talking about, even if we're only talking about zombies, the
Yep.
graphic fidelity, the look of the map, oh, it's something familiar because it's Nacht der
It's
Untoten, but
it's good textures. It's
yeah,
really good textures.
but it's something familiar because it's Nacht der Untoten,
Yeah.
but it is fresh because we start outside of it, then we go in, then we go down into a bunker, then we go to this big field on the backside.
Yeah.
Like it fleshes out what used to be just this basic ass bitch mode that you unlocked when you got done with the campaign. And so now we get that nostalgia, but we just get a little bit more of it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
visually speaking, aesthetically speaking, dear God, when you get inside and your flashlight has to go on,
Well, okay, and that's the other thing. When you played Nacht der Toten back in the day, and you're on that map, and you look at the textures and what was in there, it was pretty bare freaking bones.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how bare bones the walls were, how bare bones the detail and textures were. There was a few shelves and a few things. That's it. But now, when you go in, I mean, we're talking Cold War. There's graffiti everywhere. I mean, they Berlin walled it. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of graffiti. It's really, really interesting to see how time has aged this landscape.
yeah.
They did a good job in explaining how,
Good job,
because
man.
like, well, because you have like vegetation that's overgrown
True.
inside of concrete rubble. That's awesome. Like that's really well placed, and I feel that the environment has aged with us,
Yeah, for sure.
and that's funny saying that we were not born in World War II, and we did not grow up through the Cold War, but I feel like I have now because of
Yeah.
Knock Their Tote. So,
But yeah,
but the graphics are really good. I mean, the color and textures and clarity of the map is just absolutely outstanding.
yeah. So then let's get to the gameplay. Biggest difference is that now instead of going in with your 1911.
Yep.
You can go in with pretty much anything. This is really cool because if you want to go old school, you can go with the 1911 or whatever. If you want to, torture yourself, but it's nice. It's nice that you have that option, and you get to level that weapon up the more you use it, which means you get more attachments. You get the foregrip. You get all that kind of stuff. I really like that. What is your first impressions on just being able to like bring in anything?
I mean, that was something that I was most excited about because I am not a pistol guy, and when you're playing the old zombie modes, it's grind to get money to get the first gun,
Right.
And if you have teammates that are like open the store, open the store, open the store, you end up not getting good guns out there because you have a bunch of doors open.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a slower progression there. Now being able to have our own gun, the cool thing is we start off with tier 1 guns. They're not or tier 10 gun or whatever, low tier guns. They're not perfect by any shape of the measure, but they get the job done. They're better than a pistol in a lot of aspects. It's just something that I feel more comfortable with. So for me, I like that. I get to customize that one gun too. And it's not like it drops you in with your assault rifle and the pistol. No, you either get your pistol or your assault rifle.
Yep.
And once you hit about wave 3 or 4, your main gun that you start off with is not doing that well.
Yeah, and I think that that's probably the best thing that they could have done, because if you
Yep.
could have gone in with a light machine gun, for instance, and then just wreck ship for the entire match, it would have
What's the point?
basically it would have given
What's-
you a free win, basically.
Yeah.
So the fact
Yeah.
that they've evened it out, so you have your stock weapon, then you have your uncommon, your rare, your epic, and your legendary. Now, the more the levels go up, the better chance you have, whether it be from a wall buy or from a mystery box, to get a better tier weapon. So I like that.
Yes.
If I'd have to say one negative, it's a little weird that when I buy something off the wall, for instance, it gives me random attachments. I don't know how I feel about that. For instance, our first round, I got the shotgun off the wall, and it came with a silencer and a reticle. So pretty basic, right? The second time we went in, I got the same shotgun, but this time I didn't get the silencer, and I still got the reticle. So I don't know what the second attachment was. If I got a second attachment, I couldn't physically see what it was.
It could have been a pistol grip to make
Exactly.
the mobility better. But I'm not opposed to that, because
True.
I mean, when
I'm not
when you
against
think
it,
about
but yeah, it was just something that I was like,
it's different in the aspect. I mean, but also you have to think about the other things that they did when placing. I mean, the guns having attachments isn't the only weird placement that we found. We also found ammo caches that you could use 250 points for. And at first, you and I were both like, well, that's weird. But as we played on, we come to find out it's like, well, we're not really using them that often, but they are good in a pinch. You know?
for sure.
So it ended up being a happy surprise. It was like, well, I don't know. And then it's like, yeah, I do like it.
Mm-hmm.
Buying a gun off a wall lets me know, okay, I know what gun I'm getting. Having random attachments, to me, makes it kind of like a mystery box.
Yeah,
Where it's like, I am going to spend the coins on this gun, and usually it's about 1,000. I mean, when we were buying that shotgun, it's 1,000, but you use the mystery box, it's 950.
Right.
I'll take it. I'll take the extra attachments for spending $1,000 on a shotgun.
True.
Plus, if we had that as a base shotgun, how much would we have liked it?
Yeah, maybe.
So I don't know. I don't know how to play that out.
So yeah, that's the I guess the game, or the weapons, So now let's talk about the gameplay itself. There's a lot of little things that I wouldn't say make it a ton better, but just little things that just like quality of life things. So for instance, zombies have health bars.
Yes,
there are damages.
Yeah.
So from a meta perspective, like, because I'm going to be doing a lot of coverage on zombies, and being able to literally see the numbers coming off of the zombies is going to help me go, okay, guys, here's the best loadout if you want to wreck ship or whatever. And it'll be really cool for that. So zombie health bars, damage numbers. This is a really, really small thing, but planting an explosive on debris rather than it just floating up into the air.
Yes, that's actually that for me was a big thing. I think it's kind of a kooky and cartoony way. It looks like a weird type of explosive. It's not your standard
it's purple.
explosive. It's purple gas, which I think is weird. But I mean, come on, we're in zombies, so I'm not really going to complain about that.
Right.
And to go off of your thing about the hit markers and the health bar, I do like the health bar. Because then I know what I have left to take off. Kind of like the whole, guns with attachments and armor boxes. I'm in a toss up with the hit score points.
Yeah.
I like them because when I get a headshot, I know I'm getting a headshot because I see the points.
Yeah.
I see the points and I know how much I'm getting. And you're right. I do think that being able to see how much damage my weapon is doing is going to help me determine what guns I like more. Right? Now, if I'm only doing 120 damage, but I'm doing 120 damage faster with more rounds than a gun that's doing, say, 140 damage with slower speed and rounds, then I'm going to go with the faster gun, obviously. But it's really going to help me differentiate. Like you said, it's going to help me pick and determine what's better. It's going to help us help the crowd with their loadouts too. So I do like that.
Yeah.
But again, I am still at a toss up. It's like maybe they could shrink those numbers down a little bit because they seem just too big.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, they're kind of like boom in your face.
So
and especially when you're going full auto and they're stacking on top of each other, they can definitely like kind of get in the way.
Yeah, there's like 40 on your screen. Yeah, so I agree. I think I personally believe that they should definitely just shrink down the numbers, and that would help alleviate. Because I do want the numbers there.
Sure.
I don't mind the numbers being there. Just don't make them so big.
Yeah. What do you personally think of the tier system? So now instead of just getting a gun, and I know that gun does X amount of damage, now I could get that gun and I could get a green version or I could get like a purple version. What do you think of the overall tier system?
I've never I've never had an issue with tier systems in video games in an aspect, just because like I like to know it's like, oh, I got a legendary gun. One, I guess for the pride side of it, like I got this cool gun, but two, it's not bad. I don't have to sit here and fumble with attachments to try and stack out my own legendary. I can just have one on the go and run with it. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish that the drop rate would change a little bit, maybe give me more chances at purples rather than just hitting me off with blues and greens right off the bat. Give me a little more chances to get better guns.
Yeah.
Rather than making me drag on. But overall,
once we get used to it, I think once we start getting to like round 10, because I know at round 10 we'll start getting more, we'll get a higher chance, and then 20 higher chance, so on and so forth. But I see what you mean, just because I would say that's the one negative, just because, and I think it is because I'm so used to the other system where if I get a heavy machine gun, for instance, I know that I can make it to round, let's say 10 or 15, depending on, whatever. But I can make it to there and still hold my own without pack-a-punching. And it's because I have that specific weapon and I know exactly how much damage it does. I get headshots, left and right. And so now I can have that exact same light machine gun, but I don't have it in purple. And so now all of a sudden I'm doing less damage. It's like I had two guns that were literally the same gun, but one was green and one was white. And so when I got the green, I want to say it was like double the damage.
Yeah, you were doing a lot more damage.
When you start off with your stock weapon, which is what I started off with the light machine gun, it doesn't do a lot. So it's like, crap. So, but once again, if I get used to it, it just means that I have to change my strategy, because my strategy used to be X and now it needs to be something else. So I'm not against having a different strategy. So I think at least tier system wise, this might be something that we just have to wait and see kind of thing.
It's not often that I was ever able to say that I enjoyed playing zombies. Typically, when you're like, come play zombies, I'm like, all right. And then, like, I had my qualms throughout the match of zombies.
Right.
I didn't have a qualm.
True. Yeah.
There was no qualm this time. Like, I actually enjoyed the game mode. I kept wanting to go back in and do another and another and another. So as far as, like, zombies game mode goes, I would say that we both, I give it a 2 thumbs up for sure. 2 thumbs way up. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Speaking of liking a lot, so that's the normal zombie mode. It's called Die Machine or D Machine, or I don't know. I'm not D Machine. Then there is the unfortunately exclusive mode called Onslaught. It's very unfortunate because for an entire effing year, nobody else is going to be able to play this mode but PlayStation users. Me and Nate kind of talked about it on a button mashing or whatever. It's just kind of dumb. It's just kind of like, why?
Other than PlayStation paying for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a money thing, sure, yeah.
Sony paid for it or Treyarch was like, hey, run this only on your platform.
Oh no, it was for sure some type of marketing thing. And I get it, I really do, but it just sucks because it's a good mode. It's a throwaway mode.
It does not deserve to be exclusive for a year.
Yeah. It's a throwaway mode for sure. It's not the main mode. However, I equated it this way when we got done playing it. The regular zombie mode and all the maps that are going to come out for that is pretty much like, hey, do you want a story? Do you want there to feel like there's a progression or something? Then you do the zombie mode. But if you want immediate zombie killing action, then the Onslaught is actually kind of cool because you go into different multiplayer maps, but now there's this orb and you have to stay within that orb because there's like poisonous gas, almost like a battle royale. And once you feed it enough zombie souls, it'll move positions.
Yeah. And that's where it starts to get difficult. All right, let's just put it that way. When you finally fill it up the first time, you're like, okay. Then you get into your second fill and you're like, okay. And you're moving about the map. It moves pretty quickly. This orb will go, right? And you find yourself stuck in the gas if you don't move with it. But it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop with the pain and the heartache of just trying to kill a bunch of zombies right off the bat. And Nick, you pointed out something very early on. You're like, why are they spawning from the same spawn zone?
Right.
And when you saw that they were doing that, we were both noticing, like, yeah, they are spawning in the same spot. The further we progressed, the harder it got, the more they started spawning further around us. And we're like,
yeah,
oh, that's why. That's why.
That's why.
But go ahead and explain the worst part about this game mode, Nick. And not worse meaning it's like bad. It's good.
What's the worst part?
Where it touches the ground and it gets really big and it goes white and things come running out at you.
So the elites. Yeah, the elites are definitely interesting because like it's a 2-stage elite. So first you have the guy who's in this giant hazmat suit and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we got him. And then all of a sudden he splits in two.
Yeah. Yeah, he splits in two, and then you have 2 high-level enemies to take down.
Yeah. Although it's definitely fun, that's for sure. I like this mode because it is a mode that I can still enjoy zombies, but it's just a bullshit mode. You don't need to play it. It's kind of just there. But I do like that. Like, if anything, it's a good warm-up, if you think about it. Warm up, get used to the way the zombies move, the way the zombies attack, and then go into Die Machine.
I can actually see that and agree with that. I also think that it's a good way for people who don't want to try to survive through the survival of zombies.
Yeah.
They can just take their loadout, go in, kill zombies, and have fun with it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, I mean, it is a bullshit mode. It is a throwaway mode, but I think that it's a good enough mode that it's going to catch people's attention.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like Warzone Rumble. Warzone Rumble at first was like, people were like, what the hell is this? And all of a sudden, everybody's like, oh, it's just Sniper Elite time. And everybody liked playing it.
Yeah.
So I do like Onslaught because as, not being somebody who's always been a major fan of zombies, one, we played zombies first, and I'm like, wow, that's actually really good. And then we played Onslaught, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this changes everything.
Right.
It changes how I looked at the whole perspective, and that's why I go back to the word relieving. It was relieving.
Yeah.
It was very relieving because we don't just have our standard, hey, let's play zombies. Really? Do we have to just sit there and try to get guns and survive? No, now there's like little mission, and that's something we didn't talk about while playing zombies. It actually tells you the mission.
Yeah, that was interesting. I think diehards are going to have a problem with that. But for somebody who isn't a hardcore but does want to get into the whole minutia of Easter eggs for content purposes, this is perfect for me, So wrapping up here, let's talk about the best part about zombies, and that is progression.
Yep.
The progression carries over to multiplayer, carries over to Warzone. We've said this tons of times. If you've been following us here on Threat X3 Productions, we've been saying this from the very get-go. The fact that we can be messing around with our AR-X3 or something and the attachments and everything that I'm unlocking there, we then played multiplayer after that, which once again, go check out that video. when we did that, all the attachments, everything was unlocked. Then when season 1 comes out in December, I'm gonna be able to get through the entire battle pass with nothing but zombies. The idea of that, well, I'm definitely gonna switch between zombies and multiplayer for sure. But the fact that I could do that is really, really awesome.
Which is what makes me excited for you guys to check out the multiplayer. I'm not gonna dive super into it, but like Nick just said, he's still going to be playing multiplayer. Coming from a Call of Duty standpoint, it's rare to hear Nick say, "I'm going to play multiplayer."
Yeah,
like that's a rare phrase,
especially if it's Treyarch.
Call of Duty.
Treyarch, I am a zombies only kind of guy.
Multiplayer. I'm excited for it. You guys should be excited for it. Yeah, absolutely. And if the Warzone aspect is even slightly the type of caliber that they're bringing out with the multiplayer and the zombies, and they have a good integration of zombies into Warzone, I mean, honestly, this is one of the best Call of Duties yet so far.
Yeah, so far it's great. We are officially Call of Duty fuckboys. Lather me up and stick it in. Let's do it. All right, so this was the zombies ones. Once again, check out our multiplayer impressions. We played a good amount of that. You also get to see our impressions on the new firebomb mode, which, spoiler alert, pretty freaking awesome. So go check out that. That'll be in the link below, or maybe in one of the little cards up here. Go down below to @TX3 Productions, ThreadX3 on Twitch, or threadx3productions@gmail.com to contact us. Leave us a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I was Nick.
I'm that guy.
Yes.
Kevin.
Yes. And everybody, have a great day.